All right, Texans fans, I got a wide receiver for you. I got a wide receiver that I think would be perfect for your team, and he is absolutely turning heads at the Senior Bowl, the Reeses Senior Bowl that's going on right now. All the reporters are down there, and I'm following a bunch of them, right? And every single one of them, reporters for every team, whether it's the Texans, whether it's the Browns, whether it's the Chargers, whether it's the Lions, it doesn't matter. They're all saying the same thing. There is one wide receiver that is absolutely standing out, and I'm telling you right now, there's good reason for it. And I have a very unique comp for this guy, and I think you're going to want to hear it. But first we'll go, there's a lot of places to see this, but let's start with Twitter. PFF said it's the Roman Wilson show in Mobile this week, and you can see the catch that he has right here is just absolutely nuts when he's able to just first off the stumble, he gets that out. Amazing one-handed catch coming off of that. And then we look at this and you see him there. Roman Wilson out of Michigan. Why has this guy not been talked about as a top receiver? I'm going to tell you why. All right, because nobody knows about him because Michigan runs the ball constantly. And when they throw the ball, this is a Michigan team. All right, you see the Michigan helmet right there. You see it. I love Michigan. All right, so this is a Michigan team that one time against Penn State on the road did not pass the ball one time for an entire half. The entire second half. It's not like they were up 28 points either. They were up 10. All right, and they just said, we have an advantage. We're going to run, and we're not going to stop running the ball. Michigan does not throw the ball that often, but Roman Wilson still found a way to get 12 touchdowns. He had a remarkable catch in the college football playoff semifinal against Alabama. If he doesn't get that catch, if he doesn't elevate and get that catch, Michigan doesn't win the game. This is a guy that's phenomenal. So you're going to ask me the question all right, who's the comp? My comp for him is a Detroit Lion. And that's not just because I see Detroit Lions, but it's a comp for him because it makes sense because of his pristine route running, his frame, his size, and the fact that he's done a lot of work out of the slot. And that comp is Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's a guy that was overlooked. The only difference between St. Brown and Roman Wilson's faster. Roman Wilson is twitchier. Roman Wilson had a little bit more of the national spotlight because St. Brown was playing at USC in a season before they are just this ridiculous high-powered offense, right? And he's just a good wide receiver there of a team that's not playing in the college football semifinal, that's not playing in the national championship. And so he's just not standing out as much. He also was in a just loaded wide receiver class. And this is a great wide receiver class too. But this is a guy that you might be able to get in a second round. This is a guy you might be able to get in a third round. And I'm telling you right now, when you're talking about hey, we got Nico Collins. Hey, we got Tank Dell. We need to spend money and we need to spend resources more on the D-line or on offensive guard or on a running back. We don't want to spend a first round pick on a wide receiver. You might not have to with him. And I'm telling you, he is going to be electric in the National Football League. You have Nico Collins. You have Tank Dell. They get injured, right? One, wide receiver is a position that gets injured often. Two, you've shown you need to have more depth at that position. Three, CJ Stroud has shown that he can make any wide receiver good. Four, it's all these funny things. Nico Collins is already his friend, right? Because they went to U of M together. They didn't have a ton of overlap, but they both are U of M guys. But CJ Stroud just started following Roman Wilson on Twitter. You can put all these things together and stuff like that. But when you look at his numbers, it's not like they would blow you away. But NFL Network and analyst Daniel Jeremiah, he said, my phone always blows up from buddies from NFL teams that are here, meaning here at Senior Bowl practice, the Reeses Senior Bowl. I just got a text that said, I feel pretty good about my Roman Wilson grade. In other words, the NFL GMs, people who are scouts and things like that, are sitting there, if they are already had a good grade on him. They're feeling really good about it. Nobody's thinking that the grade's low. There's always people who blow up at the Senior Bowl. This year, it's Roman Wilson for the wide receiver room. Like I said, it wasn't nuts. He never crossed the 800-yard threshold at U of M. Never. All right? He was 4 years in a run-first offense. And by the way, he's a team player. He could have left last year. Now, he probably would have been a 4th or 5th round pick, but he could have left last year, but he decided to run it back one more year to come back with J.J. McCarthy, with Blake Corum, with this team to win a national championship. They did it. He's a winner. They won a national championship. He was a vital reason why they won a national championship. In fact, in the passing game, he was the only thing that was consistent for this team as far as a pass catcher goes, as a wide receiver. He didn't even break 500 yards until this year, by the way. He finished with 789 yards, 12 touchdowns. All right? He led all pass catchers on the national championship football team. All right? Ends his career with 107 receptions, 1,700 yards, 22 touchdowns. All right? It also added in an article that he carried the ball twice, both for scores. Like, my goodness. Like, he's a good player. And I'm telling you, he's been healthy. He's been able to stay somewhat healthy. He's battled a little bit, but that's what you expect out of wide receivers. So let me know what you think. I know what people are saying, like, is it actually a big position of need and all that kind of stuff? Like, wide receivers, my view on them is there are so many talented pass catchers coming out of the NFL draft. So why go and pay big money for a wide receiver? Now, do I think the Texans could go get Mike Evans and that would be an upgrade? I'm going to be honest, no. Nico Collins is Mike Evans. Like, you already have Mike Evans. And that's the thing. Like, when you watch Nico Collins play this year, it's the same as Evans. The height, the ability to high point the ball, the touchdown catches, I didn't know he was that fast when you watch him play. His ability to outrun people. They already have Mike Evans. So why go spend big money on another wide receiver when you can get that talent in the draft? All right? What about T. Higgins? All right, now that one I can get down a little bit more with because he's younger. You can play him. You can play Nico Collins and Tank Dell all together. You can play Mike Evans with them as well. But I do think like those would be cool. But I think a guy like this could fit in really, really well. So, hey, keep watching us. Texans content. We want to keep covering it. And now you're getting a little bit of a hint of what we're starting to do with some of our breakdowns with players and rookies and just kind of getting the deeper stuff that you're not going to see at the national level. So hope you enjoy the content. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. See ya.